Hey guys, it's a Casual Child here. Today I'm bringing you a 110 kill game on the map Breach using the Vesper. The KUDA is in the thumbnail because I used the KUDA for the majority of this game, but I just started the game out with the Vesper. I used the Vesper for the entirety of the first round, and then just around halfway in the second round, and then at that point I switched to the KUDA and I stayed with it for the entire game. So for the streaks I was running UAV, Hardened Sentry, and Hater. I don't know if I could have gotten this 100 without the Sentry, though, because it went off in overtime. I don't think I used it or even earned it in normal of the game, but in overtime, it really went off. So I was using the Scythe. Now, unless they bring out a new specialist, which I don't think they're going to do, they might, but unless they bring out a new specialist, I think it's safe to say the Scythe is permanently going to be used like in all my gameplays, because Vision Pulse, in my opinion, isn't worth it, and then Combat Focus just isn't needed because I can earn haters without Combat Focus. So I think I'm going to permanently stay with a Scythe because I don't think there's anything better than that. The only two that even come close are Combat Focus and Vision Pulse, and I don't really think I need either of those. The only one I might use other than that is maybe like Heat Wave or Kinetic Armor, and that's only if I'm playing solo, which I almost never am. But that's kind of funny because yesterday I played in a 6-man for like 2 hours straight, and I died on like 3 brutals, but then I left, and the first game I played solo I got a nuclear. But today's commentary topic, we're going to be talking about what takes more skill and how hard is it to get between a nuclear and a 100 plus. So I've talked about this a tiny bit in other videos, but I'm going to go like fully in depth here. I seem to do that a lot. I bring a topic up in multiple videos, but then I make like an in-depth commentary. So to start off here, I'm going to be talking about what's harder to get, a nuclear or a 100 plus. So in my opinion, a nuclear is harder to get, and I'm going to explain some reasons why, and honestly I feel like I might end up changing my mind at the end of this. So the first reason I think a nuclear is harder to get is because obviously it's 30 kills in a row, and the reason I think 100 plus is easier is because in almost all of my 100 pluses that you guys see, I have like over 25 deaths because it doesn't matter if I die. I mean, streaks help obviously, but I don't need them to get the 100 plus because you can see I can use the Scythe here and just rush in, and then I ended up dying, but that doesn't matter because I end up doing really good and I don't need to go on a streak. But for 100 pluses, you can just rush in and die multiple times. Like, you can just rush in, die, get like a triple kill, die, and you can just keep doing that over and over and over again. So that's why I think 100 pluses are easier to get. But I think that's kind of ironic because if 100 pluses are easier to get, then I should be getting more on my channel, but I'm not. I upload like 5 nuclears for every, well, I'd say like 3 nuclears for every 100 plus I get, and that's because in my opinion, I still think nuclears are harder to get, but 100 pluses are harder to set up. And what I mean by that is you can find 100 plus lobbies all day. Like, I probably find like 6 lobbies a day that are easy 100 pluses, but the only thing is you have to find the perfect thing, like the perfect mix. Like, you have to find it where you have to make it go to overtime, which almost didn't happen in this game, and then in overtime you have to make sure neither side scores the ball really fast, which almost happened in this game both times, and then you have to find teammates who, luckily I have really good teammates here who help me out a lot. And you can see at the bottom I was like desperately inviting recents because there were 5 players and I thought they were all going to leave, but you can see here there was like a 20-second period where no one knew where the ball carrier was, and he almost scored, and then that almost happened the next round too. So the nuclear is a bit harder in my opinion because for the 100 plus you have 4 5-minute rounds, so you have 20 minutes to get 100 kills, which in theory, like on paper, that sounds easy. So really all you have to do is you have to get, and this is on paper, this is like no variables happening, like this is just like super like calculated, and this is with everything going perfect. So you have to get 5 kills a minute, and you have to have the game last all 20 minutes, and it doesn't always happen like that. The way I don't really pay attention to the kills per minute I get, I pay attention to the kills per period I get. So like in the first 5-minute round I try to get at least 25 kills, and in my 100 pluses I normally end up getting like 27 or 28, and then by the end of like the regular game I try to have over 50, and in this game I had 52 kills going into overtime. And then by the end of the first overtime, obviously, I like to have just around 80. I usually, in my 100 pluses, I usually end up having like 83 or 85 kills at the end of the first overtime. And then the last overtime round, the second overtime round, obviously, I go into it having like 83 kills. And then I just try to get as many kills as possible. And this is actually my new personal record for most kills in a game, which is 110. I believe I got 109 non-lethals, so, but this is with a lethal because I'm running Hardened Sentry, so my most kills non-lethals is 109, and my most kills with lethals is 110, so I'm going to be trying to be beating that, like, with and without non-lethals. I believe, in my personal opinion, I do believe I could get 120 without lethals, and I do believe I could get, like, 130, 140, maybe even 150. That's a bit of a stretch because I'm not insane like those people in Doom, but I do believe a 150 is possible for me this year, but it'd have to be, like, the perfect scenario. Like, it'd have to be, like, the perfect uplink lobby with people not leaving. So I ended up picking up this Vesper and I died because it was like a terrible sight. But, like, in my opinion, like I said, a nuclear is still harder, but I get nuclears more often. But then again, I don't really try for 100 pluses that often. But I get presented with an opportunity, and that's another thing too. You have to capitalize, like, on the opportunity you're presented to, because I have 25 nuclears in this game. As of this moment when I'm making this commentary, I have 25 nuclears. I've probably been presented with at least 60 lobbies that were an easy nuke, but something went wrong. Like, either I didn't earn hater, or no one else earned hater, or I died, or someone else died off of their hater. Like, there's a bunch of variables when it happens to this. And that's sort of why I like playing solo, because it sort of just depends on me. Like, it's just me that I have to worry about. But then again, 6-man's, like, you have people constantly feeding you haters. So it's a bit of a trade-off. But I think 100 pluses could be easier, but it just depends on how you capitalize on your opportunities. It really just depends on the lobbies you're given, but in my personal opinion, nuclears are harder to get. Not even really harder, but they just take more skill. So I get the last kill here on the ball carrier. But if you guys did enjoy, a like, comment, and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Here's the scoreboard, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.